All right.
We got it?
Yeah, we've got it. We are live. Welcome everyone to the Monday night All for One, One for All call. And tonight we have got on the amazing Luke Farrar. And Luke is going to share tonight with us the nuts and bolts, the bump and grind, or whatever he called it, of sales. And
ground and pound.
Ground and pound.
Yeah, it's the chokehold of sales, yeah? It's like
Yeah.
you'd better buy.
As you can see, he's just escaped from Frankston South Prison, and he's but not escaped from isolation. So he's here to show you tonight what he is doing at the moment, hustling hard to make some sales. So
Yes.
Over to you, Lukey.
All right, cool. First and foremost, I'd like to clarify that the stripy top is just a point of difference. So you remember me, yeah? Not just old plain Joe on the phone telling people what to do and how to sell. So anyway, I'll jump straight in. So I suppose my model is right now too. So it's about sort of now and how you are in your business and where you're at. I'd probably take a stab and say maybe 90% of you, seen a reduction in sales, depending on what industry you're in. So I like to address the things straight away. Definitely there's planning and there's strategy involved in sales, but sometimes you just need to generate sales now. And there's a few factors why. One, just to keep yourself going, keep yourself motivated, yeah? If you give up now, there's probably a lot to lose or not. But just one foot in front of the other is very important. But also, you've worked hard for what you've got. You may as well either attempt to see it through or, maybe find an exit strategy if it's not for you. So they're things that you need to consider too in business. I will jump straight into my number one factor. And these are things that I've actually done in my business over the last 4 to 6 weeks. So in no particular order, leverage. So what I mean by leverage is leveraging off the existing clients that I have. Like, what do we have? Who do we have? Who can we sell to now? What products are they going to want in this day and age? And looking to leverage your existing clientele. And that can be through, email, direct email, phone calls, very important. Just staying in touch, letting them know that, number one, you're open. If you're not, in what capacity can you service them? So again, just important, just keeping your clients in the loop, depending on what size business, of course. With us, we've got people in the medical space, so we know that they're very busy. So again, our ship slightly turns direction. Our message to market with our marketing goes that way as well. So we're selling, we do printing, so there's a lot of social distancing stickers, things like that. So stuff that the industry needs now, okay? But not forgetting to keep, the other clientele informed of, our operational times as well. So when we're fully back on board, whenever that is. Was there any questions? I'm happy for people to jump in too and just chime in. All right, cool. Outside thinking. So in any business as well, it's looking for other opportunities. What are you good at? What can you do? And other revenue streams. Suggested to me, actually by Al, to look at what we do well and potentially bring in staff, that we have into a bit of a session, bit of a brainstorming session in regards to what other product offerings we can look to leverage again. And we've got some things that came up that are really good that I didn't see. So it's out of the box thinking, and sometimes you're in it can be very hard to see. So it's good to get other people's opinions, and that could be friends, people in business, staff members. Sometimes family got great ideas, sometimes they don't. But just getting other people's perspectives is really important in regards to your product offering and your services, and what you could potentially, as I say, the key word now is pivot. But it's true. It's very important. And consistency. So this is a big one for me, for us as a business now. It's paying dividends for our consistency in some areas. And what I mean by that is that we consistently have an SEO strategy. We consistently post on social. We consistently update our Google business page. Yeah, so we do these things nearly every single week. Now, I know as a business owner, it can drop off. You got good intentions about posting. Yeah, look, I'll do it every 2 days or once a week, and then it's a month down the track and you haven't posted anything. Now, I've been guilty of that, but I've really made a conscious effort over the last 2 years to really, just top of mind, stay in people's faces. And it's not a hard sell, it's just being top of mind. And the funny thing is, an email dropped in today from a really good client who I hadn't heard from for a long time. And they just said, I've been seeing some of the wonderful work that you've been doing over the last year. The last post, tweaked my interest. We're looking for that sort of product. Great. So you can see, it really works for you. It's not hard to do. And it does pay dividends. So even now, consistency is a key. It's not the time to be going ad hoc and taking your last 10 grand and just putting it on an AdWords campaign that you haven't really explored. You really want to sort of focus on things that may be more of a slower burn now, but it really needs to be, part of the picture. Some of the things I use Buffer. It's a great app. It connects Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, so all your social media platforms. And I simply just put one post in and I can select all those social media platforms, hit share, spits it out to all of them. So there's no excuses, yeah? You can literally just be in that. You can schedule posts as well. I often got a bit of time now. Just jump in, grab, load up for the week. You can schedule your post every second day or whatever day and time. So just load them up. You could even do a month ahead if you wanted to. So very important. One thing I will say, and highly underestimated, it's what I call a sneaky. The Google business page. We were onto this probably, say, 4 or 5 years ago. Someone mentioned to me how it constantly evolves and develops, and you've probably seen, if you've been using it yourself for the last sort of 3 years, you have seen how it's evolved now. You can almost sell on it, yeah? Offers, posts, updates, and it's constantly evolving. Now, that's the Google ecosystem, and they want to control that, and that's why they'll continually sort of, roll this out. But we've had, SEO-wise, it's free. It's like it's free. And if you're going to put a post on, put it on your website. Blogs are great. But if you're going to do anything, like just one thing, Google business page, yeah? Update your details, make sure they're all current. Go through it, your product offerings, make sure your industry's in there and the words are in there that you link to, so it's all correct. And just post photos. Cool. It's simple, easy. Again, I do it in Buffer. Buffer doesn't link to Google business page. They're nemesis. But I just jump in straight after I do Buffer and just put that into Google business page. Now, SEO-wise, it's great for your map listing. So what that's built for us is we're top on maps. You type in Signs Melbourne. We're not paying 10 grand a month. SEO, we just come up the maps. So you've got the ads, maps, and then you've got the organic. Now, if you really want to spread it on, we'll go to the ads because we're there. We can turn the tap on, so we'll be top. We'll be top in the maps. Then we'll be 1, 2, or 3 in the organic. Yeah, so it's a bit of a blanket. So that's a real sneaky one. Jump on it. It'll help your business, even if it's not right now, at least in the next year or so.
Luke, what gets you in that map area? Is it your presence and your updating of Google My Business page? Is it that one that gets you into maps? Oh, okay,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, so obviously making sure your place of business is accurate, so your address and again, the listing that the business that you're in, make sure you select the correct one. That's really helped us. And then when you start to build reviews and things like that, it really starts to take off. So the compounding effect, it's a real natural, easy, free SEO. Like we've been doing for 3 or 4 years, and people just sit there going, how are they, why are they always at the top? Well, it's because we do it consistently, and it's a moat. Okay, so the difference between this now that we've built is that the only way you can beat me is to own a time machine and go back 3 years and just start doing what I'm doing. So even if you had $500,000 and put it into AdWords, I'll still beat you. You know what I mean? So very, very important to know that it just creates that moat, which is really cool. Email list, I have it on there. yes, you've got to keep clients up to date depending on what you're in, health and things like that. Maybe just a simple MailChimp account. Just go through the clients that you want to email. Obviously, make sure they're subscribers. There is ways around it too. That if you can send an email out and say, look, I apologise if you didn't sign up to this list. However, just change the preferences below, but here's the latest news. So then people sort of opt in and opt out, yeah, pretty quickly. And then you can start to refine that MailChimp list. And that is just a bulk email out to your clients, and you can segment it by type of client, industry, and all the rest of it. So you can go as detailed as you like, or you can just keep it simple. So really, really easy. Is there any questions on that one?
Just love it. Everyone is guilty of not being consistent with marketing activities. I, for one, as a marketer, am guilty of that myself. And it's just something that you just got to really schedule into your week, don't you? It's just part of working on your business, or else you're paying someone to do it for you. But yeah, and just I just had a good laugh at the time machine thing, because it's so true. Like, when's the best time to grow an oak tree? 20 years ago. When's the next best time? Now. Just keeping consistent. It's a great tip.
Yeah, and especially in these times, it bears fruit. I know for us, we've had a massive drop off in top line sales, but in saying that, we've been pretty busy in regards to some existing clients that have come to us with different projects, and so we're still ticking over jobs. It's not what it was. Am I concerned? Sometimes I think about it, I'm like, shit, we could be in real trouble here. But I always come back to what we do incrementally every day. It's posting, it's, being on top of things. It's all those little things that now bear fruit. Our systems and processes, so be it through sales and manufacturing, they bear fruit. We're able to work remotely, confidently, because we've got things in place that we've really worked hard at. And it is, when you're busy in your business, it's hard to do marketing. It's hard to just get stuff done. Yeah, I completely understand. But Ross Pepper mentioned it earlier, like, what's the end game? If the end game is to run a successful business that would run by itself, have some basic systems and processes in place, have some great staff and support them and their family, so in turn it supports you and what you want to do in your life, then it's pretty easy to start, putting some of this stuff consistently, just small, every day, every second day, once a week. So, and it brings me to routine. So that's another big one, especially working at home. I've got 3 kids, and they're crazy. They're just energetic, and they're just like me, right? Except a lot younger and better looking. So, routine really, really key now. The golden hour, I call it. And that might be that time that you say, hey, I'm really open with my kids. I'm like, cool, Dad is here to sell, making cash. And it's not about just making money. It's about, this is the time that I focus to support the family. Yeah. And that's the time that Dad needs, and that's the golden hour. So it might be early in the morning while they're still asleep, create that routine, get up, go for a walk, hydrate, whatever it is, do what you do, get into it early, uninterrupted, make it count. That's what I call it. So watch your golden hour, protect your time now, because I know at about 2 o'clock starts to get a bit cabin feverish and we have to go out on our daily walk or kick of the footy. But routines are key, yeah? I don't know about you guys, but gee, I've had to pretty much move, an entire sort of front end office and ship PCs and stuff all around Victoria to staff just to set them up so we're comfortable. I tried working at home just off the laptop like I normally would, just maybe I do an hour or 2 at home from time to time, and I couldn't work like that. So I've got my Very desk, my stand-up desk. The whole lounge room is now our headquarters. And that's the way of life, it's It's not ideal, but make yourself comfortable and back that up with routines. Cool? And that's including switching off, yeah? Knowing when it's time to just ring the bell for the day. Cool? Shows your kids that you're not always on the grind. Pretty important that when you are, you make it count. Any questions there?
No, I just love it. And, you know, it's interesting how I think some people have created a bit more of a routine than they've ever had in their life now. I, for one, was never one to get up in the morning and go for morning walks, but I do now for some reason.
Yeah.
So I guess because I know there's no gym to go to or no Pilates classes and things like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just more motivated to just knowing, oh, that's my time out of the house today. And then the rest of the time I'm just going to be inside the house, you know, pretty much. So, and I was the same. I had given up my desk at home ages ago, last year or something like that, because I just liked working on the couch. I was just working on the dining room table, wherever. But because I'm out and about all week as well, like out at so many different places, and I go to Waterman Centre and, you know, I move around a lot. But as soon as we were in ISO, no, I needed a desk again. I just had to have one. So it's funny how you just that routine does change, and it changes the way that you work too.
Yeah, and you're right, making it as comfortable as you can, you know, with whatever situation you're in, is very important. And yeah, you're right. Like, you've got to remember, there's a lot of people that are out, that their jobs did involve being out on the road and around people all the time, you know, and they thrive off that. I know I'm a people person. I like to get out and see my clients. It wasn't a lot, but, you know, it was probably 70% in the office, 30% sort of out on the road. But yeah, I mean, I do miss that. I did have, we have put on our website that we're doing sort of remote, you know, site inspections. So we're encouraging clients to ring us and walk around. You know, we do signage. So the dentist rang the other day, said, "Hey, you free?" I said, "Yeah, cool." And it was all on WhatsApp, and it worked quite well. He just said, "Look, this is the entry. I want to change the sign here, and I've got the glass, and I want a 3D sign here." And we just sort of walked around the office, and about 10 minutes, you know, it was a good consult. I hung up and I went, wow, I didn't have to drive all the way to the city, 3 hours out of my day to go and see a potential lead. It was done and dusted there. So this has changed my mindset in regards to how we actually do that portion of the job, which
I think a lot of people will be doing things differently in the future. They'll just be saying, do we really need to meet in person? Do we really have to drive all that way? And we'll go, no, we'll just do it on Zoom.
No. And that's, yeah, thinking outside of the box. Yeah. So if you can set that up well enough and show people examples, hey, you know, dentist man, do you mind if I just record this and I can show clients, you know, how it works? So, you know, something like that. Be smart, be intuitive. If you get another query and they're like, I'd really like you to come out, and you're like, well, hey, this is what I did with this client. Check out the video. Could you use it up, bit of a start, and then, you know, an intro, outro. Really start changing the way that we interact, because whether we like it or not, the isolation and the distancing is going to continue. See, I'd put at least 18 months on it. What will happen is that, so they lift restrictions, but people are still going to be a bit cagey about meeting each other. We've got people in industries that say, hey, can you come out and meet with me and the client and 5 others tomorrow? And I'm like, no, I can't. You know what I mean? Like, because I myself, I'm trying to look after my community and my family by distancing myself until this thing dies down. But we just have to remember it's going to be a bit of a long road there. So with the advent of technology and where we're at there, the sharing of videos and making that a really easy transition should be paramount. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. What else was I going to say? Planning. So important now, but obviously we're planning for the future. I know for me personally, again, that slow burn, we're just about to release a new website, which has been 12 months in the making. And we're very lucky that, well, not lucky, again, it's what we do consistently that will bear fruit. So once that comes to market again, it blows our competition out of the water. You know, it's frantic out there. People are trying build websites and get their online presence going. And like, you know, these digital marketing agencies are just out of control at the moment. And with everyone working remotely, it's not as good as it was. And I've seen firsthand how these companies work. You know, when there's 40 creatives in the one space, they just kill it. They're so good at what they do. They feed off that energy. When there's 40 creatives in their own little space, things twice as long, things get missed. You know what I mean? It's a real shit show. And then compound that with an influx of work for these companies, they're spread really thin. So, you know, getting a website done at the moment is going to take time. So we're lucky in that regard, but I'm still thinking about like SEO, you know, how I'm marketing, and also our ideal clients. So that's important now, and it sounds counterintuitive, but I'm still picking and choosing my clients who I do work with. A sale is not just a sale. A sale has a time attached to it, you know, how many resources this person take. Like, especially now, you want to be careful where you allocate your resources and time to probably produce the biggest return on investment. So if a client's not suitable for us, we'll either refer them somewhere else, or just let them know we can't help them. And it's hard, but you've still got to maintain those standards in any business. If you start doing work for anybody and everybody just to generate sales, you've got to be careful. You have to really start managing. Do they have the capacity to pay? You know, how much time are they going to waste? They're going to screw you down on price. So having some things in place like pre-qualification guides, you know, hey, here's what we do. Here's a budget price, A, B, and C services. If you're interested, please let me know. So the faster you can get to the answer or yes and establish a good relationship with an ideal client, the better you'll be. So that's important too. And know your industries. I know construction, retail, hospitality, just no money. There's just no money there. And you've really just got to make sure that you can get paid for what you do. So protect yourself. If your payment terms were 30 days for new clients, well, you're running the risk anyway. Yeah, I'll be frank and honest. That you're really putting yourself out there to get burned even prior to this. But even so now, we're taking 50% for most, you know, even existing clients. And some new clients are 100% upfront in advance, and we've lost work, but it's not worth chasing, you know, money if you're not going to get paid. It's as simple as that.
Love it, Luke. It's been a great session. Any other questions from the gallery, the jury?
From the jury
Of the convict?
I'm not sure.
So I think, Luke, I appreciate you being straight about the fact that that organically we need to have started years ago. And it was also great how you talked about, you know, probably the key thing to do right now is the Google business page, I think you said.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I want to be the devil's advocate. Let's say I wanted to open in competition with you.
Yeah.
What would be the quickest way for me to make inroads without just being a discount merchant?
Yeah, well, it's a great question. I mean, if I had to go against myself, you would. It's obviously message to market. It's got to be sharp. There's got to be a differentiator, especially in our industry, right? Like, and I've been told this by some of the biggest wigs in the industry that have said, look, we get down to 3, right? You, this mob, and he goes, there's just no differentiator. Like, he goes like, price is about the same, present well, you know, your reviews are about equal. You know, so he said, like, what's the differentiator? Like, what are you doing? What are you offering that's different? And he's right. And I said, well, what is it? And he said, well, what's your guarantee? I said, well, how's about if you're not happy with your sign at all, we'll fix it for free. No questions asked. We'll come out, sort it out, no problem at all. That's our guarantee. Yeah. And it is. And we stand behind that. And that's something that it's a differentiator, but it's also putting, you know, putting your balls on the line, putting your money where your mouth is. Yeah. So creating a differentiator, saturating the market with AdWords. So I'd have a big spend. Yeah, sure. I'd turn the tap on. I'd focus where the money is now in the market. And that's with any business that you're in. Just, you're going to need to generate money. Go to where that is, do the research. We know that social distancing, sneeze screens, we're there straight away. We're there. We're just like, turn the ship. This is where we're going. And that'll keep us going long enough to, see this through. What else, Al? I suppose, and that's if you had a budget to compete with us, definitely.
Well, so thank you, because that was what was in my head. I was thinking a lot of, now, I set it up if I was going against you, but just for anybody that wants to either jump into something new because their industry is, so there's a bunch of industries that are currently stopped.
Yeah.
And there's innovation in some of those, but I mean, gyms, for instance, it's hard for them to go from 200 members coming in at times that suit them to doing 200 sessions one-on-one out in the street. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's a big difference, right? Yeah. So for someone that wants to go in and maybe their budget's not there, or they've been reeling for the last few weeks. But I got something. What you said there was awesome. So what I heard was have a differentiator that matters to people.
Yeah. That's important. And you're right. Like, I kind of look at it like, let all these businesses that have no consistency, no plans, let them do all the panicking now. All right. So if you can ride it out, just for, just a bit, just wait until the dust settles, then do so. Don't pivot so much that you take, and this is based on a business that does something well. They're passionate about what they do and they deliver what they deliver, right? I'll say that. And that'll go one or two ways. You'll either pivot because the business wasn't doing so well and you'll find your golden goose. Awesome. Run with it. This is a prime opportunity to do so. Or you turn and pivot so much that you neglect what you were good at, okay? And then when things start to settle, you're going to have to pivot back. And there's a lot of resources involved coming back and forth. So it's almost like a spread where you have to sort of go a bit this way and a bit that way. But in saying that, it's okay to go completely the opposite direction if that's what needs to happen too. Yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Well, what I heard was keep working to your strengths.
Yeah.
So I avoided using the word pivot. You've used it now. But the idea of a pivot is, from my understanding, the idea of a pivot is, maybe it's different now in the current times, but where that started to gain traction, where it started to gain traction was typically people locked into a career, maybe it was corporate, pivoting out of that into a whole new life.
Yeah.
So they were working to their strengths. Just what they were doing was taking their services away from a large organisation and offering those services more directly on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
And so there's, they're still working to strengths, offering the value that we have. And of course, some of the benefits of doing it at a smaller scale are, genuine price differential. We don't have to undercut if we have a much lower cost base. So there's there's a few things, and still, I think you nailed it. We live in this age where everybody has to be cheap, on time, good product, good service. Those are all, you don't get business if you don't do those things.
Yeah, basic fundamentals.
So there has to be, that's right. So there has to be something that makes you different. And it's funny that you talk about the guarantee, the sort of this is going to guarantee, because that's old. That's old school, mate.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed.
No, but it really, for us, it is us. Like people that meet me, people that meet our staff, are just like, they'll just fix it. There's no problem. I've got no issue. And if it's a genuine, you can't have people sort of just try to milk it. But if you're genuine and honest and and upfront, then it's a no-brainer. It's like, wow. And there's a lot of companies out there that are pretty undesirable who would never do that because they're not willing to put their neck out there. So, yeah, these times are tough, and let's not be discounting, some of those industries that have completely been decimated. I really feel for them. Like it's a shit place to be. It really is. And you can think of many that have it was one thing and now it's just stopped. What do we do about that? My thought is, and I grapple with this too, the more I push sometimes, the harder it is to actually find the answer. Yeah, and whatever that answer is, I don't know. But sometimes I just back off and it just drops in. Yeah? And that's life as well. I just think now is the time, and you hear people say it, that we'll never have this opportunity again to spend as much time with our family than we do, and make the most of, like Jerry was saying, I really enjoy my 1 or twice a day walk around the neighbourhood. It really gives you perspective and challenges you. And it is adaptation. We live such comfortable lives, and those who adapt and can make the best of it, whilst realising that life may never be as comfortable as it was for a long, long time. It may not be the same again. Not that we're going to live like this forever, but, it'll be cool, man. It'll be all right, yeah? It really will. Like, ultimately, we have no control over the outcome of what's going to happen. What I do know is that the winds change, man. The seas, the tides come in, they come out. We have summer, winter, autumn. Things will consistently change. It's with sales, it's with business, it's with humanity. So now it's about connection, love, looking after yourself, and just, I don't know, just don't sweat the small stuff. I said that to myself about 45 minutes ago, and I have to constantly tell myself, don't worry about it, mate. It'll be all right. And someone says to me the next day, what are you worried about? It will be good. I'm like, yeah, it will be. And that brings a deep sense of calmness, yeah, to know that everything's all right. And from a place of calmness, when the waves are swirling around us, nice decisions come from that sense of calmness. Yeah.
Oh, look, Luke, I want to reiterate that. I have connections in South Africa, just from not-for-profit that I've supported, and mate, I sent them some cash to buy some water recently because they hadn't had clean drinking water for weeks. Yeah, and that was before the virus situation had ramped up. You know what I mean? So yeah, what we're experiencing here is an eye opener. Really, it's nothing more at this stage.
And you're right. I came back from Fiji not too long ago, and it was just before, everything hit. And there was this sense of nervousness around the resorts and everywhere. Like people just weren't themselves. It was almost like they weren't present because they knew what was coming. And then you hear about the history of they've been hit by floods and storms and this and that, and they get nothing from the government. And I'm just like, this is crazy, and you can just really sense that. And it really, for a country like that, I'll give them one thing. We learn a lot how they move back to the land, yeah, where they're self-sufficient, where they're farmers and they grow things and they live off the land. I kind of thought, shit, as much as they rely on tourism, it is amazing how resilient they are, and they can just, if they have to sell corn by the side of the road, that's what they do, yeah? That's what they do. Yeah, to make money. So it's like your corner on the side of the road now in a business, yeah? Do what you need to do, and it doesn't matter what that is, but you'll learn something from it, yeah?
Mate, that's close to home. My granddad would tell me the story about how he served during the Second World War, but domestically, he served up in Queensland, and, afterwards, started studied at night, started an accounting business. But, in the early days, I guess everything was in disarray. Yeah. And they were doing anything they could do to generate business and generate an income, And by the time I really got to know him in his 70s, he was a comfortable and successful bloke. Yeah. So it kind of, when we work to our strengths, when we see where value can be given, when we give that value, then it comes back, doesn't it?
Yeah. And just know everything will be all right, and that we're strong and resilient. And, you know, if there's any, I think about it, if there's any country in the world you would choose to be with this pandemic, it's here. We'll map it out. I mean, you could say Antarctica, but it's not really sustainable, is it? But, you know, we've got, and just remember that, we've got a lot going for us, yeah? Like, Aussies are great, you know, and Australia is such a great country, and it gives us an opportunity to support the rest of the world too. If we're in better shape than a lot, you know, it's our opportunity to step up and do what we do, not be just selfish pricks and go, well, that's what that is. We're all suffering from the same affliction and demons, yeah? They're just in different forms. And when you have countries that don't have, like, they've meager healthcare, and, you know, like it breaks your heart. And this is a really good opportunity for us. So let's be grateful, yeah, and not be soft little selfish, comfortable Aussies, yeah. We know what to do, when to do it. So let's do that.
Nice one. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. It's been a great prezzo. Always love to hear what you're doing in your business, because there's always lots of gold nuggets, that's for sure.
There is.
Yeah. And yeah, thank you. Thanks again for presenting. I don't know if we've got a schedule for next week, but I will probably do my presentation next week I'm doing live on Wednesday, but it's all about growth hacks during this time of disruption. It's my top 10 tips to get rid of disruption, and in regards to video, of course. So nice. That'll probably be next Monday night's call, because I don't think we've got anything scheduled. So that should be it next week. So
awesome. We look forward to it, and it should be maybe 7 shocking secrets of videography that they don't tell you. I'm telling you, man, it goes at 10x's.
This is the 10 shocking truths to disruption.
Yeah,
because I discovered that the word disruption is 10 letters.
Here's the book. This is a book that I got off a friend of mine, Sabri, and he's got a section in here about getting some killer headlines. And he really goes through it of like what works and what doesn't, and you read it, and he's got them. These are just textbook stuff out of
who wrote that book?
New idea. Sabri Subri, he's the director or owner of King Kong Media.
Yeah, so do you use King Kong, do you?
Yeah, we do, yeah. We've had a long-standing relationship with them, so he switched on. I mean, this book is fairly cheap, and for the info that it's got in it, it's actually really good. Yeah, it's got some good value in it. So, and stuff like that, stuff that I don't know, I don't like the hard sell, but I'm like, just chuck in a few, 7, shocking truths about SEO, or, 7 shocking truths about, kinesiology they don't tell you. And it's like, well, people can't help but click. So he's all about driving sales, but also ideal clients and stuff like that. So well worth it. Like, it's a cheap book. Anything out there like that now will help you as well.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey,
awesome.
Thanks, Luke. I cut out before when you said, any questions, and I went to speak and I dropped out again. But I wanted to thank you for your presentation today. It's been really awesome, and I love the message you had before about helping people around us as well. There was I was a part of a group, and all the parents in the group, they were going to be going to an event. And everybody had paid a small amount of money to go to this event, but they couldn't go anymore. The place had to close. And everyone's like, I hope we get our money back. But they were talking like $50. And everyone's like, I hope we get our money back. And I'm like, that poor business is not about to get any more money. You've already paid them. $50 is not a big amount of money to be giving to a company to hopefully keep them open for longer. So absolutely, wherever we can help out. And if you've paid some money somewhere and you can survive without that money, don't ask for that money back. Just hope that business gets through to the other side as well. So that
well
was
said, Ross.
Great message. Yeah.
And off the back of that too, if any of you guys out there want some, I mean, I'm happy to do videos, quick little explainer videos on your Google business page. Like, and I mean, in 6 minutes, I can show you start to finish on how it works and what to do. Just message me. You know, like, I'm here to help. I've got a bit of time, and I'm really happy to speak to people, or, you know, just leverage off me. You know, I'm not that crazy successful guy that does everything, but I'm definitely inspired by other people's challenges, and if I can help in any way, shape or form, if any of this stuff doesn't work for you or you don't know what you're doing, you need some advice, just hit me up. I'm honestly happy to help.
Yeah, thanks, Luke.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah, beautiful. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks
Cool.
heaps, everyone. Hope to see you on a call next week. Hopefully some of you have been watching along on Facebook as well. And we also have Friday night happy hour at 5 o'clock. Usually it's just you.
Ooh.
Luke and I have been having a drink. And
you're missing out. Yeah.
So come on board. And also we are trying to start a regular, well, Alistair will kill me for saying trying to. we are committing to 3 times a week. It just didn't happen last week because homeschooling started on Wednesday and I just couldn't cope on that day. So the idea is that we have the Monday night call, a Wednesday lunchtime, just, you know, catch up shenanigans, whether it's a walk and a talk, whatever it is. Yeah. And Friday night happy hour. So jump on any of those times. 12 o'clock on a Wednesday, 5 o'clock on a Friday night, or 8 p.m. on Monday nights. The All for One community is always here for you.
Yeah, and I'd like to learn more about everyone out there as well. Yeah, it's important. I think sometimes when we feel, we can't be bothered, or it's probably at that time you should do it. So jump on and catch up. I caught up with Jerry last week and it was great. It was just quick chat and quick check-in, and yeah, it was really good. I got a lot from it. So
I got the tour of your shed.
You are both champions.
Thank you. You'll get the grand tour as well of my jail shed. Yeah.
You got the tour
You're
of
both champions.
my neighbourhood.
And anybody listening to this video or watching this live, you know, just take the opportunity to catch up with these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And each other. This is a place for people to connect. So
yeah.
It's not just the Luke and Jerry show.
It's got a nice
you guys
ring to
do
it,
pretty well together.
We can do it. Can we have a house band?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I think.
Yeah, can I be in it? Can I be in the band?
Yeah.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right, I'm going to put the kids to bed.
Thanks, Luke, for all your advice and knowledge. I know you've got a wealth of it, so thank you very much for sharing that with us today. And Jerry, I'm looking forward to catching you on the next one. Yep, excellent. All right, thanks, guys.
Awesome. Have a good night.
Good night, all.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.